Welcome to the Friday Happy Hour with victory strategist, award-winning author and your happy hour host, Annmarie Kelly. Each week, Annmarie chats with women who have reinvented, started over or wrote fabulous next chapters. They share how they overcame their midlife challenges and how you can too. So kick back with some good happy hour something to drink and enjoy today's show.
You're listening to the Friday Happy Hour with me, Annmarie Kelly, and you know me, I'm that recovering good girl and your victorious woman empowerment partner. And this is where us victory chicks and you men who care about us meet on Fridays to chat about things we can do to achieve our goals, overcome our challenges, get empowered, and make our lives sparkle. And I'm glad you're joining me today for Happy Hour. Thanks for coming. And have you done any shopping lately? I'll bet you have. It's that time of the year. And when you shop, do you wonder if you're wearing things that make you look old, or if you're trying on things that should be on a 22-year-old instead of a snappy midlife woman like you? I do. And that's why I asked Roberta Matz to join us today. And she's going to talk about the current trends and how we can dress our age and still look like the snazzy women we are. And you guys, I didn't forget about you. I asked Roberta to share a couple of tips for you too. So I don't know, maybe you aren't going to be looking at going out shopping, but your sweetie probably will. So we want you guys looking as good as we do. So Roberta will be here in a couple of minutes. I hope you'll enjoy Easter and Passover celebrations. I did. We had Easter dinner with my next-door neighbor, Sue, and her parents, and they're 86 and 90, and both such nice people. So Joseph and I were glad to be with them. And what a pistol Sue's mother is. She's so vibrant at 86. It makes you excited if you're looking and you know that if you keep waking up every morning, that's going to be like that. You're going to end up being 86. It's so good to know that somebody can be 86 and still be so vibrant. So, and it was fun to hear them talk about things that are like going to Bar Harbor for their honeymoon, and Bar Harbor is where I go for my vacation, so it was pretty neat. But listen, I have a confession. I went to church on Easter, and I was good, but I sinned on Good Friday. Joseph and I and my neighbor Sue went out for pizza, and we drank, and I got a little buzzed, and I was happy about it. On Good Friday. What a disgrace, huh? But I might have redeemed myself because I wouldn't let Joseph and Sue put pepperoni on the pizza because, it was No Meat Friday. I should get some credit for that, right? Like, I was thinking maybe I'll only get charged for a venial sin. I mean, if I went to Mass on Good Friday, I would have had wine, right? It's the eating meat on Good Friday that matters, right? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, my Jewish listeners and you younger Catholics, you're scratching your head and wondering what the heck I'm talking about, huh? And then there's others of you who know what I'm talking about and have already decided I've committed apostasy and I'm going to rot in hell. Although if you're a regular listener, you probably already know that that's before I even talked about getting buzzed on Good Friday. You probably already figured that out. Well, it's a good thing I'm not beating you at the pearly gates. And I'm counting on the fact that St. Peter was too busy on Friday to notice my indiscretion. So I think I'm good. And at least I confessed. Okay, not to a priest, but to thousands of you who came to Happy Hour today. So that's got to count, right? So that was Sunday. And then on Wednesday, I met Rick Harris, and he's the president and general manager of NBC 10 and Telemundo 62. And he spoke at the Press Club luncheon, and he was pretty interesting. And he talked about a lot of different things, but he talked about how NBC 10 is moving to the 13th and 14th floors of the new Comcast Technology Building in Center City, Philadelphia. And he said a couple interesting things that I wanted to share with you. He said that when they move to the new 59 or 60-story high building, that they'll be housed in the 7th tallest building in the United States. Doesn't that surprise you? And sometimes I think about Billy Penn. We better win the pennant this year because they were talking about putting a little tiny statue of Billy Penn on the top of the Comcast building because it'll be the tallest one. But it's kind of cool to know that it's the 7th tallest building in the United States. But here's what I thought was really interesting. The big wigs won't be having cushy corner offices overlooking the city. Well, they will probably have cushy offices, but all the executive offices will be in the center of the floor. And all the window views all around the outsides will be where the employees will have their spaces, but it's going to be open space. Like all the NBC staff will have common working areas, open space meeting areas. And then he said there'll be like sofas for small meetings and private conversations. And that, that everybody will have a view of the city. Now, part of that I think is pretty neat, that those fabulous window views are not, that fabulous window views for everybody, not just those executives. And the other part, the open space stuff, would just make me crazy. I don't know about you, but I know it's a trend in companies like at GlaxoSmithKline, which I think was one of the first companies in Philly to adopt that open space model. Well, a couple of years ago, I was doing a job down there, and my client contact gave me a tour because they were just getting ready. They were moving from wherever they were in Center City down to the Navy Yard, but they were setting up that open space. And when I saw the people were working at long tables and nobody had desks and nobody had space for their stuff, they had a small locker. So whatever they could fit in a small locker was all they had. And I saw that and I thought, I am so grateful to be a contractor and not an employee, because I would hate working like that. I love people like you. I love being with you on Fridays. But I love my own company too. And I place a really high value on having my private space. So for me, some work needs to be done alone. Remember a couple months ago when I sequestered myself in a hotel in Gettysburg so I could create my own private writing retreat? Well, I needed to write without interruption, even just normal interruptions. So that open space stuff, great view or not, would just annoy me. And you know what? I don't think I'm alone, because I was reading some articles, and that open space concept isn't working out quite the way they thought that it might for a lot of companies. In fact, one writer looked at the research and concluded that, now I'm quoting him, that the research seems to suggest, this is his quote, that open offices are not the engines of collaboration they are often made out to be. Duh. People want their own space. They want a place to put their stuff without everybody seeing what it is. However, the other thing is I'm not a 20 or 30-something employee, and they aren't designing corporate office space for 50-something women. In fact, they're hoping 50-something women will leave the workforce. It's funny, because companies would like us to leave so they can hire cheaper employees. But our financial planners are telling us to wait as long as we possibly can before we start collecting Social Security. They tell us 70 is like really good. So it's like a conundrum. And that's probably why so many victory chicks, and you guys too, are looking for that reinvention in your next chapter. Because you want to leave that open space stuff and find something that you like better. Now, in that same vein, I was on. That happened on Wednesday. That Rick was talking to Press Club, and on Thursday, I was at the Pyramid Club at 17th and Market, right across from this Comcast building, and I was doing a job called The Power of Business Relationships, and it included a group of savvy business people, and I was one of them. and high school students, mostly seniors from Souderton High School and Roman Catholic High School. And I was paired with two women from Souderton High School. Their names were Saba and Jamie. And geez Louise, they were two Victory chicks in training. Next year, one of them's going to Syracuse, the other to Clemson. And so we bonded over the Clemson thing because I've done a lot of professional development for women programs for Clemson University. And their buddy, with whom they do almost everything with, it's like they're a trio. And she wasn't there. But she's going to Newman, which is my alum. So we had like a lot of synergy, Saba and Jamie and I, a lot of synergy going on. And those two young women are so interesting that I'd be wanting them on my team when they get out of college. And then afterwards, I had lunch with a couple of the other business people, and we got into a conversation about the collaborative experience thing. And we were talking about how obsessed the 18 to 34 millennials are with making those connections online or through social media, and how they don't know what to do when they're face-to-face with people. They can do it online or, on Facebook or Instagram, but not one-on-one. And also, as one man pointed out, they don't know what to do if they don't have their devices. And I don't know if you saw Anderson Cooper's piece on 60 Minutes last week, but there's a plan to keep people addicted to their devices. So how scary would it be if there was a technology failure of some kind, the grid goes down, and they can't access their phones and tablets? They could have serious problems. So in addition to it being really rude to check your social media while you're in the middle of a serious conversation, it's mentally unhealthy and bad for relationships. So I'm thinking that's why it's good to have a device-free zone in times like no devices at the dinner table or no checking your phone while we're having a conversation. So I post links to a couple of those articles on today's radio wrap-up at victoriouswoman.com. So if you get a chance, check them out because I thought they were pretty interesting. And we're getting ready to go to break, but first let me tell you just a little bit about Roberta Matz. Roberta has been a fashionista her whole life and dresses herself for her friends, her children, her grandchildren. And until recently, it's been her passion, not her job. Her regular job was in education and nonprofit management, but she recently retired, and now she's a volunteer at Career Wardrobe in Philly, an organization that provides work-appropriate clothing for women returning to the workforce. So Roberta is a champion for women looking their best at any age, and she's going to help us out with doing that today. So not just us Victory Chicks, but you guys too. And if you have a question, you can give us a call at 610-701-9243. So go get some good happy hour, something to drink, and come back to talk with me and Roberta Matz. You're listening to the Friday Happy Hour.
When you wished you had more time for yourself, and now you have it, but you notice you're keeping busy with stuff, but that stuff isn't making you feel happy or filled up? And when you think about what would make you happy and filled up, you get stuck or feel overwhelmed. And then you go back to what's more familiar, more comfortable, even if it's not making you happy. Wouldn't you love to find a way to start making sense of that deep discontent you're feeling? Well, you're not alone. I'm Annmarie Kelly, author, victory strategist, and the radio show host of the Friday Happy Hour. And I know there's a place for you, one that other women have found to be both inspirational and empowering, and it's the Victorious Woman Project. Go there now and get on my mailing list, where you'll be the first to know about my upcoming online workshops, teleseminars, and more. And while you're there, take a couple minutes to look over my blog. You can download some of the free stuff I have for you and let it get your creative juices going. I'm looking forward to meeting you at the Victorious Woman Project, and that's at www.victoriouswoman.com.
Welcome back to the Friday Happy Hour. I'm your host, Annmarie Kelly, and we're welcoming fashionista Roberta Matz. Welcome, Roberta.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm really pleased to be here.
I'm glad you are, too. And, if there's something you want to talk to Roberta about some fashion, you can call it 610-701-9243. Roberta, sometimes I find myself looking at clothes I think are cute, and as I'm in the like Macy's or someplace, and then all of a sudden I see the label and it says Alfred Dunner, and I totally freak out.
I agree. I honestly have to say that, yes.
Because Alfred Dunner was what my mother wore, and not when she was 50, but when she was 85.
Exactly. And it tends to be interesting, but not as stylish as some of the other brands. The fit isn't exactly good. It's a little looser, a little boxier, and what I call the sherbet colors.
You're right.
The sherbet colors, right. The yellows, the pinks, the blues, the greens, the Easter egg colors that you end up seeing older women wearing, and that I would avoid.
With elastic waistbands.
Yes, an elastic waistband. Yes, big no-nos.
Well, then, but here was the other thing. Like one of the things, this what I'm wearing now is a Ruby Road, and I started to like the Ruby Road things, and then I was saying something. I was having a conversation with one of the salespeople, and she said, I'd like to call Ruby Road Alfred Dunner's fun little sister. I'm like, Alfred Dunner makes this? Oh my God. Totally freaked me out. Then I started looking at all Ruby Road stuff with like this jaded stare.
It's really hard because, first of all, you don't know who's making any of these clothes. They all have second, third, and fourth lines and different names for them. But I usually figure there's a few stores that are go-to stores that'll have stylish things for women over 50. Soft surroundings. They're fitted but body skimming. Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting look. J. Jill to me is a little looser, but I know a lot of women like it, and it can be very stylish. Their pants are fitted.
J. Jill is who you go to before you go to Weight Watchers, right?
I don't know. My sister-in-law thinks she wears J. Jill, but I'm like, okay, it's not my style. Now, Chico's, I like some things, but not too much because they're often boxy and not fitted and bright colors. It's the same notion. They're not the colors of the season. They're colors they think you should be wearing. But yet recently their pants have buttons and zippers, are fitted, and they've increased their size range. They no longer have 0, 1, 2, and 3. They have 00, 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5. It's the same thing as regular sizing. So I think that their clothes are much more fitted. They also got the message that you can't keep putting things with elastic waist and stretchy fabrics. But their sister company is White House Black Market.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which at first glance looked like it for much younger women, but it's really not. You can go in there. The pants are fitted. They are beautiful fabrics. They have interesting tops and a huge selection, and you'll look much more stylish than if you came out of Chico's.
Interesting. And I think that they opened one in Concord someplace, right? On 202, right?
Glen Mills has a...
In Glen Mills.
Okay, my favorite store. So they know me by name. But it's a good place to go, and there's such a range of things to pick from. And they will have a lot more stylish things coming in.
And how is White House Black Market on price?
Very similar, and they have great sales. That's the one thing you have to learn. If you really are on a budget, know which stores have sale racks, and that all these stores get new merchandise every 6 weeks and mark things down every 6 weeks. So it goes on the sale rack. It's 25% off, and then you watch, and then they'll have 30% off the sale price. Then they'll have 40% off the sale price, and you can go in there and do as well as you would at a discounter like TJ Maxx.
Interesting. One of my very favorite stores, and we don't have them here, is Dillard's. And they're
a great department store.
And when they have sales, they really have sales.
Yeah.
Like Boscov's and Macy's do pretty good, but Dillard's really has a sale.
Yeah.
And on their really upscale clothing.
Yeah, and they're online because I've used them for a couple of designers I like that they have good selections online.
And very easy to send things back to. If you have a problem, as long as you do it within the time, very easy, and you don't have to pay to ship it back.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, that is good to know.
So, most of us, Roberta, don't want to look like we're 22. Okay, some of us really do.
We wish we could look like we were 22.
Well, I always say there's like a little piece of my brain that just still thinks it's 22, or still thinks I'm 22. Most of me knows I'm not, but that little piece does. But, but we don't want to look old. We don't want to look like our mothers. Not that we didn't love our mothers, but, we're not that old yet.
I used to dress my mother, too, okay? I used to buy clothes for her so she would look better. I think the thing is fit is the most important thing because you can wear the same styles that someone younger is wearing, but you have to make sure you're getting the brand of jeans that fits you so that it's not a hip hugger and it's not below the belly button. If it comes up slightly to your waist, it'll hold you in. Not Not Your Daughter's jeans comes in 1,000 styles. They're made for a mature figure.
Now, I don't know, I've heard of Not Your Daughter's jeans, but where do you get those?
Okay, they're in Nordstrom's. They're in a number of stores, and Outlook, which is an online Nordstrom discounter, often has them for half price.
And what is it?
Outlook, Houtelook, and it's an online one of these outlets that every day sends you an email. When they have Not Your Daughter's jeans, they'll be half price.
Wow.
A huge selection. They always have reviews, too, so you'll know how they'll fit you, because their fabrics are soft and they have enough stretch in them. So sometimes they'll say order a size smaller. Sometimes they'll say true to size. But they have everything from skinny jeans to leggings to ankle pants to capris to shorts. And they fit a woman's body very well. And yet they're as trendy as anything a junior is buying in one of their stores.
Very nice. As I said, I've seen them advertised. I just didn't know anything about them.
You can go to Nordstrom's and try them on, and then you would know how they fit you.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's the best thing to do. So then when I see the sale, I buy them.
That's a good idea. Tell me this. What are some of the biggest missteps that we women in midlife make?
I think one of them is wearing clothes that are too loose. We think we need to hide our figures by having the clothes sort of hang off of us.
Because we have that like menopause tummy?
We do, but guess what? It's not going anywhere, and you can't wish it away. But on the other hand, wearing an elastic waist and pants that have wider legs don't do that much for you. You can wear the slimmer leg. You can wear a tapered leg. You can wear a pant that fits you in the hips and tummy. As long as you wear a top over it that doesn't accentuate your belly, but just skims over it. So I think that's really one big thing. And then there are the class of women who really forget what size they are and wear clothes that are too tight and too short and too low cut and are trying too hard. So you have to find that balance of what really fits your body and is going to look appropriate for you. Once you have a good fit, you can try on any style.
All right, so let me ask you two questions. The first question is that I always learned that if you are wide in the hips, which I have always been, that you shouldn't wear tapered. That you should wear, boot cut
It
pants.
Depends on the pants. If you're wide in the hips, you can wear leggings and a tunic. The tunic will come mid-thigh, and usually they're flared or what they call a shark bite hem, which is pointed on the sides and a little higher in the front and back. It fits your shoulders. It fits your bust line.
It's Ruby Road.
Well, but with with the thin legs coming out of it, it emphasizes from your mid-thigh to your ankle, which usually is a better part of your body, and it gives you an interesting-looking silhouette. If you're going to wear jeans, we don't tuck things in anyway, but if you're going to wear fitted jeans, if it comes to the waist, then a boot cut or a straight leg would look very nice too.
Okay. And then the other question I have is this, you're talking about women wearing baggier clothes.
Yeah.
I was in Philly yesterday. I was with a group of people and business people, and one woman came in, and she was maybe not twice my size, but she was a lot bigger than I am. And she had on a fitted, it wasn't tight, but it was fitted. It was a black dress, it was fitted, and she had on black stockings. I see that a lot. Listeners, you know what I'm talking about. You see younger women, we always wanted to hide everything, and they are very comfortable showing everything, not showing everything. It's not a good way of saying it, but they show their shape, even if it's like the shape that I would say I wouldn't wear that dress.
But part of it is you have to have pride in yourself. If you are not comfortable in your body and you wear clothes that hide it, you're not standing up straight, you're not looking people in the eye, you're not speaking assertively and really showing yourself to the best in the business world. If you wear something that makes you feel good and it's fitted, your body is there. Putting something big on doesn't really hide your shape. It just makes you look even bigger because it's so shapeless a garment. But when you put on something that you feel has color and shape to it, you're going to feel good about yourself. And then you can go out in the world and present yourself in the best way. Because when at Career Wardrobe, we have women coming in at all sizes. And when they're a large woman, they want something that is flattering on them. They often will wear pants that fit them, not loose ones, because they know they want to feel good about themselves.
I always think that that's like the most important thing, that if you, whatever you're feeling on the inside shows on your face, even if you're putting you can have like the most expensive everythings, and if you're not feeling good from the inside.
Right. And I think the one thing we do at Cure Wardrobe is to give women the tools so when they put on a suit, they stand up straight, they look you in the eye, they speak louder, and they look in the mirror and they see the woman who came in the sweatsuit and the torn jeans is now in a business suit and can go out there and interview for a job.
Right. You do.
I see it all the time, and it's not that clothes make the person, but it's a tool that enables them to go out in the world. And even when it's the right color blouse, I wear beige, I hate it. It looks elegant on a blonde, and I'm not a blonde. Mm-hmm. So you have to learn those kind of things. Wear the colors that make you feel good.
So what are some of those colors? And for this spring, what are some of those colors that we could be wearing? And you can see I have that Italian complexion.
We have a similar kind of complexion. I think some of the new colors, it's interesting. Blush, which is a sort of light pinky beige, is really big as the new neutral. Everything from handbags to shoes to jewelry. It's a good color, but like for someone like me, I might look better in pants in that color or a handbag in that color to say I know it's new. But also La La Land, the movie, had a huge influence. Their first scene had girls dancing in bright colors. So you see yellow and red and orange and blue and green, and they're in the stores. So I think that's an easy one. I'm not going to put on a bright yellow blouse, but I'll put on the bright orange blouse. Mm-hmm. And that really is a trend for spring, the bright colors. The other is prints. Flowers are always big for spring, and they're showing an interesting lighter than jungle green, so that's one most people can wear. Black with a lot of flowers on it, most people can wear that as well.
Black with flowers on it?
Yeah. One of the hot things are silk bomber jackets, silk baseball jackets.
I've seen that, yes.
And most likely black with flowers. You'll see that everywhere.
So, before we go out and buy that stuff, Roberta, let me ask you this question. We're taking things out and we're switching over from our winter clothes to our summer clothes. All right, probably most of the Victory chicks that are listening have already done that. I'm doing it this weekend.
Well, it depends. It's cold,
Yeah, it's chilly. So what are some of the things that, like, what pieces should we keep and continue to wear? And what pieces should we update? And then what should we just ditch?
I think, first of all, you have to look at all your T-shirts and look for stains. They materialize in the closet over the winter. All of a sudden, you'll see yellow marks on your clothes that you knew weren't there before. So that's the first thing to do, because anything that is worn enough needs to go from your closet. I think that anything that has faded, you wash your jeans a lot, you wash your pants a lot, look at the hem and look at the waistband. Do you begin to see it fading and looking a little white? It's going to look worn. That's something you can wear to clean the house in.
Okay, that's a good thing, or we're like just to hang out, yeah.
Yeah.
Roberta, we need to take a break, so hang in there. Everybody come back, and if you want to call, you can do that, 610-701-9243. We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to the Friday Happy Hour.
Hi, this is Annmarie Kelly, author, victory strategist, and the radio show host of the Friday Happy Hour. I trust you're enjoying my conversation with this fabulous, victorious woman. If you're getting inspired with ideas and feeling empowered, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's more for you. Tips, downloads, resources at the Victorious Woman Project. Go to victoriouswoman.com and look around and get on my mailing list so you can be the first to know about the newest good things I have for you. That's www.victoriouswoman.com.
Welcome back to the Friday Happy Hour. We're here with Roberta Matz. We're talking about what you're going to do with your spring clothes, and Roberta's talking about the things that you can ditch. So if the waistband looks like it's getting a little worn and white, and the hems and all, get rid of them.
Get rid of it. I think the other thing is look at your capris very carefully, because that's something that's really dated. Older women wear capris that are sort of straight down, stop mid-calf. Younger ones are wearing cargo-type capris, tapered capris, things that are either ankle or below the knee. So you've got to take a good look at that and say, would my mother wear it, or should I keep it? Because I think
what's the difference between a tapered capri and what you're talking about, like that some women are wearing?
Capris that are the cargo pants style, so they're very tapered and they'll have a pocket on the side of the leg.
Right.
That's called cargo, and they're very fitted. like back to that look again, as opposed to something that's a lot looser. But on the other hand, culottes are back in style. We all remember culottes.
Oh, from when we were kids.
They come back every 10 years, and they're calling them wide leg, mid-length pants. And I have a pair in denim that are great. They look interesting. You could dress them up to go to dinner in, and they look a whole lot nicer than your average capri. So I think that's one thing to look out for.
So you wouldn't look for them as culottes. What would you look for them?
They're calling them wide leg pants, but not wide leg capris, because they're also showing jersey wide leg Palazzo pants, and they came out last year, and they're still in this year. They're a nice fabric. They're fitted through the waist and hips, and they do have a lovely graceful leg, and they look great with a nice t-shirt, sandals, or heels, and they pack really well.
And they're called Palazzo pants?
Palazzo pants, yes. They're the old-fashioned, they used to be dress pants that you could wear as an evening wear, but these are in interesting prints, and they're very comfortable, and they're in all kinds of stores at different price levels. I was in Florida, and the one girl in the store said she has 12 pair of them. That's all she wears. They're as comfortable as pajamas.
Huh. And they're wide in the leg. They're
wide, and they're fitted in the waist and hip, and they're wide in the leg, and they're really wide at the bottom, but they're very flowy and graceful.
And they're long down to the ankle?
They're down to the ankle, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so that's something new. So what are some things, if we had them, we got them last year, a really big end of summer, like I buy in July. So how do I update something that I bought last year?
Most of what you bought last year is still in style. Like the blush color just came out last year. It's hitting big this year. Pale yellow just came out last year. It's hitting big this year. One way to update anything is accessories. Go to an accessory store and look around at the necklaces. This year's new necklace, you and I are wearing it, is long with tassels.
That's because you told me.
Yes, well, you put that on anything you had from before. What's still big from last year are the necklaces that are about 18 inches, big jewels. They're still wearing them everywhere. So you can put that on a top from last year. I think that's a way to update something like that. That's easy. Change your shoes. This year the sandals have ankle straps. Okay, that's a big look. If you don't have one like that, to get a sandal with an ankle strap. That's an easy thing to do to make it updated. The cage look, which is like a lace-up sandal or heel, is another way to update an outfit, because a new shoe means, okay, I know that this is what's in style now. And they're as comfortable as anything.
And it's called the cage look?
Cage look, yes, or lace-ups, yeah.
Okay. So accessories and shoes are the ways that we can update whatever we have.
Yeah.
Are we wearing scarves this season?
Scarves depend on the person. You have short hair. Scarves are great. I have long hair. It's so-so. Some people love them, and they're wonderful, and that's another easy way. They have great color. You put it on a solid color top. It really brings in the season's color. But if you're not a scarf person, it doesn't matter how many you buy or what shape they are. You're just not going to enjoy them. So that really is very personal.
So, and we talked about colors, and we talked about styles like those Palazzo pants. I've not ever heard of them.
Oh, I have a pair that's a couple years old, and I just got another pair because I love
really
them.
Behind the times, huh?
Yes. You need to go to a store. That's always part of it. And it's easy. Go to one of these single-purpose stores like Soft Surroundings or White House Black Market and just look around and see what they have, and then you get a better idea of what's in style. Often you go to a department store and you don't know where to start. Which is your department? Which size range is yours? Do you want the dresses? Do you want the suits? And it can be very overwhelming. But if you go to a single-purpose store, you'll get a much better idea of what's in style.
You're so right. A while back, I lost a lot of weight. I lost 50 pounds. And I knew where to shop when I was 50 pounds heavier. Right. And then suddenly, after I'd lost about 30 pounds and none of my clothes fit, I was like, I would walk around the department store and say, I don't even know where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
I knew when I would go to the women's section, but then women's clothes were too big.
Right. And the other thing is, in these single-purpose stores, the staff is trained to actually help you, which is, think about it. In a department store, you can wander around, unfortunately, in Macy's with the clothes and the credit card and hope someone will take your money. But here, they will get you what you're looking for, and then often they'll bring in 10 more pieces just so you get an idea of what's in style. And you're not obligated to buy, but this way you get to try on, and they'll say, try it with this. Here's a way to do it. If you have a question, would this cardigan go with these pants, they can answer all of that. And that's a good way to get a style lesson. That's what they're paid to do. So I think that's very helpful.
So, and I used to get that at Coldwater Creek.
Yes, and these other stores I mentioned do exactly the same thing.
So how do I know? So you're saying that I could wear something that a younger woman could wear as long as it's the right fit?
Yes. I have teenage granddaughters. They're 15 and a half. And the last 2 times they came to visit, they were raiding my closets to take my clothes. And I'm like, seriously, you're teenagers. No, that hoodie is cute. I like that sweater. So that already says there is no age on the clothing if it hits the right thing.
Yeah, if the young kids are raiding your closet,
I know.
Good.
Yes, and my shoes. 3 of them are the same size shoe.
Let's talk a little bit about shoes, because I have to tell you this story. And I was telling our friend Helen this the other night, that I was at my high school for our annual luncheon, and after lunch, a couple of alums that I was with all said they wanted to walk around the grounds. So that was fine. It had rained a couple days before, and the ground was a little squishy. And we're walking, and I'm thinking, why is it that I'm having trouble walking around these grounds? And then I looked, they were all wearing flats. I was the only one in heels.
Okay, flats are really big, and you can find ankle pants.
So again, I was out of style?
Well, I wear heels too, but generally older women wear flats because they feel more stable, and there's some truth to that. But also, ankle pants look great with flats. Leggings look great with flats. Straight leg pants, skinny jeans Look at the young kids in their jeans. They're in flats, ballet flats, little slip-ons, so they're really comfortable. The other shoe that is really big, and my pet peeve, is older women who wear sneakers all the time because they think it gives them stability. And you can get stability, and the new look is a slip-on sneaker. It looks like a loafer. It has a rubber sole, so it covers the top of your foot. It gives you support, yet it's a sneaker kind of sole. They're in all sorts of colors, and yet it looks more up-to-date than a lace-up sneaker that's bright blue with whatever clothes you're wearing. So the other thing is wedges. Wedges are great.
Wait, stop. Let me go back for a second. So we're talking about sneakers. So you're saying that we can get slip-ons that are sneakers?
Yes.
And who makes those?
Everybody. Honestly, I will tell you.
I should go shopping, huh?
Yes. 9 West has them, and I buy them online because 9 West only has a store in town. I just got another pair from some sale site. Go to DSW. You will see so many of them in colors and patterns, whatever. And it's a different look. But it looks great with capris. It looks great with shorts. And it's something that instead of wearing that old lady sneaker, you'll be as comfortable and able to walk and look a lot more updated.
And so are you saying that heels are out?
Heels are in for dress occasions. So if you're going to a shower or a wedding or a dinner, yes, people wear heels. And the girls in their 40s are still wearing the 4-inch heels, which I can't quite master.
I never could. They were not my thing.
But they do wear heels.
Yes, but not 4 inches.
Yeah.
The stilettos. But the heels are still in. There's nice appropriate pumps that are a 2-inch heel, which is a very comfortable and manageable height. It depends on the outfit. Well, the other thing you find is many mature women don't want to wear dresses. So if you don't wear a dress, you don't really need heels. I think a lot of pants look nicer with heels, but that avoids it. So I think that if you are wearing skirts or you're wearing dresses, that heels are really appropriate. I saw something in the newspaper, I don't know, maybe sometime in the last month, and is it called a kitten heel?
That's going out. Thing? It's a kitten heel, but you're 2 years behind. Sorry.
But they just put it.
I just gave mine to my granddaughter.
Wow.
Okay, there was a 1-inch heel that was very tapered. It was called a kitten heel, and it was really big 2 or 3 years ago.
So Victory Chicks, don't go out and buy that.
No, the heel for this year is a block heel. It is literally the width of the heel of your shoe and 1.5 inches square, and it can come in a 1-inch heel or a 2-inch heel. It's a very solid heel, and you'll see shoes that look almost like a booty, and they look great with pants, but it has that solid block heel, and that's what you should look for.
I've seen that on the DSW site.
Yeah.
Yes. So we can wear those So we still can wear heels.
Yes.
And we can wear them with pants.
Yes.
And dresses.
Yes.
What's in for dresses, speaking of?
It's very interesting. As I said, most people don't want to wear dresses, but in the summer, when you honestly think about the heat, a sundress or a slip-on dress is the most comfortable thing you can wear. You've got the least amount of fabric on your body. Soft fabrics, flower prints, a style that was in the last couple of years. It's got about another season to go. It's called a high-low dress. The front of the dress is slightly above your knee, and it goes around the back, and it's longer in the back. That's an interesting dress. Maxi dresses are on about their last season. They've been big for the last couple of years. You won't see too many in the stores, but that's a really comfortable summer look. It's just something that fits on your body, and it's soft and easy to wear.
I spend most of my summer in dresses. Not so much for business, but
right. It's just a comfortable look. And when it comes for dressier dresses, if you have a wedding or an occasion, look for a dress. The length that's coming in is actually below the knee. Tapered skirts below the knee, and that's a newer look than slightly above the knee.
I know, Roberta, you were so good when Victory Chicks and you guys, you know that I went to a wedding in Atlanta not too long ago, and I made myself really nervous and upset, and it was just around the time that I was talking to Roberta about coming on to Happy Hour, and so I sent her a picture of a jacket, and it was a jacket, and so the shirt was a little bit longer than the jacket, and I wanted her blessing, and the jacket was very springy.
Right. So did it look good?
It looked great. I looked fabulous.
Good.
I felt good. That was the biggest thing.
Yes, and that's really part of it.
Well, the really big thing was that in the morning I had to leave. I was leaving Asheville at 6:30 in the morning to make the 11 o'clock bridal luncheon. So everything had to be able to, and I was the first one to drive. It was a 4-hour drive. So I drove for 2 hours. So everything I had on had to work so that I could change in the car.
And that's hard. That's a trick. Yeah.
Well, what we ended up doing was stopping at a hotel, and I went into the bathroom at the hotel and changed. Well, it was interesting.
One other thing I do want to mention that you're seeing everywhere, it's called a cold shoulder top. It's a top that has short or three-quarter sleeves, and the shoulder is exposed. And what's really nice is nobody's shoulders get wrinkly, and nobody's shoulders get flabby. So it's really a good look for a more mature woman. And many of the tops will be the semi-fitted ones, so they fit in the shoulder and the bust line and then flare away. And that's a great look for summer. And you'll see that everywhere. And if you watch TV, it seems that all the news commentators are wearing them.
And that is a good place to start looking, because like any of the women anchors, they all do like the newest fashions.
And they vary in age, because you will see Hoda Kotb, who's on NBC, is in her mid-50s. Kathy Lee is in her late 60s. So it's not just young women, and you can see what they have on and get an idea if it's something that you want to try. But that cold shoulder look you see every day on somebody.
I have seen that. You're absolutely right. We're going to take a break. Fred has been talking to me about taking a break, and I keep forgetting. So we're going to go away. We're going to come right back. You're listening to the Friday Happy Hour.
Are you one of those women who lived the first part of your life as a really good girl? That is, you did all the right things and followed all the so-called rules for women? I was like that too. But have you noticed that once you passed 40, you have less patience for those rules? Maybe you even think that the rules really don't make sense for you anymore. Maybe they never did, and you just didn't realize it. Do you want to go where other recovering good girls meet to inspire each other and support their new empowered selves? Then join me, Annmarie Kelly, and some very fabulous Victorious Women. We're on Facebook at the Victorious Woman Project. So go to facebook.com/Victorious Woman Project. I'll talk to you there.
Welcome back to the Friday Happy Hour. We're here with Roberta Matz. We're talking about a couple of things having to do with fashion. And Roberta, I want to ask you about stockings. Are we wearing stockings anymore?
It's an interesting thing. Young girls are not wearing stockings, but for those mature women, control top pantyhose are a lifesaver. Plus, young women don't wear stockings, they wear tights. Well, guess what? They're the same things. So my feeling is if you're comfortable and you want your control top and you really also need something between you and the shoe, then stockings are in.
Well, this woman I was talking to that had the fitted dress, the large woman who had the fitted dress, she had on black stockings, and I thought, Huh. And she was pretty young.
Yeah. Yeah, you see a lot more of that, and it really is your comfort level. And as I say, tights are exactly what stockings are, but if you call them tights, young girls will wear them.
And are they sheer the way that...
They can be. They have.
I think of tights as being a heavier material.
This year, White House Black Market had sheer ones, and they had pattern ones, so that you are seeing more of that coming back. So I think in a couple more years, you'll see them actually called stockings again.
Interesting. Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about was makeup. I was in Starbucks recently, and I saw a woman who was probably in her 50s, and she had very bold makeup. She had on a lot of eyeliner, a lot of blush, dark lipstick, and I thought and because I'm dark-skinned, I tend to wear bold colors. And then I looked at her and I thought, I wonder if I'm wearing too much makeup. Now today I'm not wearing any makeup, so.
I think what's interesting to remember is makeup is another way of completing your look. So tinted moisturizer is great because if you put that on, you really don't need a lot more makeup because especially in the summer, it gives you that light tan look and you're done. A little bit of powder on top and you're finished. But I do think eyeliner, a mascara, a little bit of shadow are really important. And if you look at the makeup ads, bold eyebrows are back in style.
Oh, they are.
So and now they have so many different kinds of eyebrow pencils and liners and whatever. And as we age, our eyebrows thin. We actually lose hair. It never grows back. Or it can get gray like the rest of our hair. And so I think it's important not to forget to color your eyebrows. And when you wear glasses, to remember to put eye makeup on because that is still the window to your face. Mm-hmm. So eyeliner and mascara are something that's really very important to see. And my mother's rule was don't leave the house without lipstick.
That's my rule.
So, and I think
I will wear no makeup, but I will wear lipstick.
Yeah, because if I go out without it, they say, "Are you sick?" No, it just doesn't show off my face. And I think that sometimes as women age, they lose the skill of putting on the makeup, so they stop using it. And I think it's important to know that you can go to a makeup counter at any department store, and they'll give you a lesson. And every couple of years you should go because then you'll get the idea of what are they accenting this year, what are the new colors. It's a really helpful way to keep yourself up to date.
All right, that's good, Roberta. Now, here I want to ask you this. What should our guys be doing? Are they wearing three pleated pants? You know, I've always laughed about this pants with the three pleats because they can say, well, I'm still a size 34. Except they're a size 34 with three pleats.
The important thing with men is they don't ever want to, there are two kinds of men, those who love fashion and really stay up to date, and then the rest of them. And the rest of them have one thing that they've liked for the last 30 years and they're not going to change it. And I think that you have to convince them every 5 years to look at his closet. First of all, the same rule, does it fit? Does that sport jacket fit? Have you gained a little weight? Has your body changed? And no pleated pants, maybe not cuffs if you don't really like them, some new shirts, and I take my husband to a men's store because then the salesman tells him what to buy, and I don't have to be the one harping on that he looks so dated and out of style. Today, men's shirts come in patterns and plaids with cuffs and collars that are contrasting, so you can turn the cuff back, and that'll be a different pattern than the rest of the shirt. The shirts can be worn out, and even an older man can wear a shirt out, and it's a more modern look.
Is that I see that commercial for Untuck It?
He's one of the guys, but you can go into any store, and they have shirts that are meant to be worn out. And honestly, as the man gets heavier, out makes him feel more comfortable and looks more stylish. But my advice is trot him off to the nearest men's store with guys who can tell him what to do.
I was at this thing in Philly yesterday, and we went out to dinner, out to lunch, and there was a man sitting across from me. He had a fabulous tie, and I tend to be a little flirty without even realizing that I'm doing it. I'm like, I love that tie, and I'm like making a big fuss over the tie, and then I thought, and I wasn't wearing my wedding rings, and I thought, like, I think he thinks that I'm flirting with him, and I wasn't intentionally flirting with him. I really did like his tie, how I shifted the conversation was that I thought, that's really all that men have, is they have their tie and their socks.
Right. Right. And now there's shirts. My son is a physician, and he wears a shirt and tie every day. And he has the boldest color shirts I have ever seen. I'm so proud of him because he was the blandest kid. Because he's a pediatrician, so he has a maroon shirt and a purple shirt and a green shirt and ties that go with it. Because that's his statement, that he's not boring and that he is approachable. And that white shirt and classic rep tie is only for politicians. The rest of them are wearing colored shirts and patterned shirts, so it's okay with a suit or a sport jacket to wear a patterned shirt and then wear a tie that goes with it.
So but you can't wear a patterned tie with a patterned shirt?
Yes, you can. That's why you need to go to these men's stores. Those salesmen are really good, and they lay it out for you, and you get a look and you realize that is more modern, that is more updated.
Interesting. Roberta, I could talk to you for a little bit longer, but we need to go. And so thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, you're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Oh, I'm glad that you did. So, and you know, in case we went too fast, Fred always puts the show on the WCHE website, so you can listen to it again, take notes. You can stop it and listen and take notes. So listen, you Victory Chicks and you guys, we're wrapping up another work week, and my Girlfriend Gala Committee has been working really hard to find silent auction and raffle items that you will love. Victory Beer is donating a growler with a couple of fills, and Reading Phillies is giving us a pack of tickets. Nora Fleming, if you know Nora Fleming Dishes, she donated a fabulous designer plate, and Curry Spa has a spa day for us. Crown Trophy in Berwyn. And MJ Hits, thank you so much, because she's our source for Victorious Woman Couture. And Crown Trophy donated a couple of hats, shirts, tote bags. I love tote bags. And a blanket with the Victorious Woman logo. And you know, there aren't a lot of women yet using the Victorious Women clothing. So thanks to Crown Trophy and MJ Hits, we have some good ones this year. And the women who got them last year were so excited because they're at a premium. There are not a lot of them. So I can tell you more next week, but we have fabulous stuff. We have Fellini's in Westchester, Fellini's in Newtown Square. Applebee's have given us restaurant coupons. So, you know what I think the girlfriends like so much when they come to the Girlfriend Gala? Because the raffle items are good and the silent auction items are good. And it's not like when you go to some of these fundraisers and that people are spending thousands of dollars. You get a good buy at the Girlfriend Gala because however it happens, whatever we have in raffle, and they're good, it's good stuff, and then you get a good buy. So if you can join me on May 24th at Penn Oaks Golf Club, get your tickets now. You can go to victoriouswoman.com and get the link on the right-hand side, on the sidebar, the right-hand sidebar. And I posted also the link on today's radio wrap-up. So listen, thanks so much for coming to Happy Hour today. I'm really glad you did. I hope you got a lot out of Roberta Matz's information. And again, listen to it again, because if we went too fast, there's a lot of information. So listen to it on the podcast. And I expect to see all of you Victory Chicks, and you guys too, looking even spiffier than ever because of Roberta's advice. So we've been talking about fashion today, and there's something I always know to be true. Roberta and I talked about it just a couple of minutes ago, and that's that you can have the most expensive clothes and the best makeup artists and still not look good. It's not, and you can have like inexpensive things and look like $1 million. It's not all about what you have on that matters as much as what you have in. And I think the late Audrey Hepburn hit the nail on the head when she said this: true beauty in a woman is reflected in her soul. It is the caring that she lovingly gives, the passion that she knows, and the beauty of a woman with passing years only grows. Don't you love it? Thanks for coming to Happy Hour today. Hope you'll come back with me next Friday. See you then. Chen's on.
Thanks for listening to this Friday Happy Hour. Make sure you subscribe, rate and review today's show. And join us again next week for the Friday Happy Hour with Annmarie Kelly.